Hello, fellow builders, and welcome back to the Bench. Mediocre Modeler here, and we are on part 4 of our Moff Gideon cosplay build. And, well, like I said, I was gonna work on sewing this time, and I did. As you can see, I have worked on sewing. Sewing it's harder than you think, yet it's easier than you think. Now, it helps having some of the pieces in place, having a halfway decent sewing machine and the let me refine that. When I say halfway decent sewing machine, I've got is a basic brother sewing machine that I got from Walmart. It's a beginner sewing machine, so it's not fancy, but it's getting the job done. It's perfect for my personal skill level of sewing, and you can get a lot out of it before you may feel like you need to upgrade. I've got a while before. The only thing that would keep me from that would make me want to upgrade would be maybe the materials that I would be using, maybe like a leather or a thicker canvas or sail material if I needed that for some reason and I was trying to sew through a couple of levels of that, a couple of layers of that. Other than that, this sewing machine has done me well up until now. The thing about it is when I first started, okay, the pattern I'm using is it's oh, where is it? Where is the pattern? Here it is. Okay, so this is the pattern I'm using, and I'm specifically using this version right there. The main reason I went with this is McCall's 7486. In choosing the pattern, I went with the recommendation for the material to use for this pattern. And so that material is like an athletic, stretchy material. This is what I started with. This is the back piece. I've already sewn the sides of it to this. I was ready to cut the sleeves out, and I've got the front as well. And I can still use this if I decide to go with this, but I felt this material was not right. Despite how comfy this would have been, I don't think it would have laid right. And so I ended up going back to the store and picking up this black twill. It was, normally it's not cheap, but they were having a clearance sale, and I got this for like 70% off at Joann's, and I only needed about 2.5 yards, so I still have enough. I might actually have enough to do a whole nother tunic there, but I think we're going to stick with what we've got. And the reason I went with this particular pattern, I wanted a little bit modern, more of a modern look. And a lot of the times, if you look at imperial uniforms, they're either using like the modern chef's coat, or there's like a old, I can't remember, old military uniform. I've even seen people considering using like the patterns for band uniforms. I even looked that up. You have to mentally choose your colors or be able to look at it and go, yes, I can get where I need to be from that. The reason I chose this particular pattern was Moff Gideon's collar. Most of the Imperials have the flap that goes over to one side, and you've got the button down on the one side. Moff Gideon, he's got kind of a high collar on his uniform, and you don't really see the side flap deal. Actually, it's going to be on this side. The only part you see it is below the armor. There is a little flap there that I have to contend with, that I have not incorporated into that yet. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to do it basically like a high belt and have it match the bottom edge of the shirt. And so you'll have that little bit of a flap. It's going to be a faux flap. It'll almost be like a, I don't know, like a skirt. I don't know. It'll fit over the middle, my middle section, and it'll be hidden. The top edge of it will be hidden underneath the belt. I may even attach it to the belt with Velcro. I haven't decided yet. The other thing that I really want to do, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not, because I think it really looks good the way it is. I tested it with the armor. I even grabbed one of the shoulder pauldrons and put it on there. So I still have clearance for both. I just need to have Mrs. Mediocre Modeler mark some things off for me, because I can't hold it and mark it and do all that at the same time. But once I get it all together, I'll have Velcro holding on the shoulder pauldrons. I have Velcro on the straps to cover up the belting, and I complete. Oh, the neck. Oh, I'm building in my head as I'm talking. The one thing that I may have to forego is the piping, unless I come up with some really fancy way of doing it, because I use the XL size of the pattern, and I'm glad I traced the pattern onto that other white material, because in the fit I probably should have gone with the 3X. It would be a little bit bigger. I'd have a little bit more room. As it is, the arms are perfect. And in order for me to get the piping down, my idea is to cut the top of the sleeve all the way down, put the piping in and sew it back together. If I do that, it'll make it smaller, unless I figure out a way to, I don't know, either sew the piping on top of the sleeve in some way. I got to figure that part out. For the most part, I think we're doing good. I'm feeling really good right now. I'm feeling like I can get ahead of this and maybe tackle some of the other things that I was going to forego, like maybe the weapon, either one of the weapons, either his sidearm or the dark saber. I've got the dark saber torn apart because I could never get it to light up, and I think it was a connecting. Everything had too much crammed inside the head of that, and it wasn't making good connection. So that's something to figure out. But getting ahead, like I said, in getting the sewing done has really given me a good boost. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited, and we'll just see you in a little bit for part number 5. Not sure what 5 is going to consist of, but we know there will be a 5. And that might that might be the final reveal. I don't know. But until then, as you know, have fun, be safe, go build something.
Pew 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 pew.